Nutrition. Introduction to nutrition. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, famously said, "Let food be thy medicine, and let medicine be thy food." Even though he lived in the 4th century BCE, Hippocrates was onto something. Since then, physicians, nutritionists, and scientists have offered variations on Hippocrates' statement. The most basic of these: you are what you eat. While this premise may sound simple, most people may find it complex to apply in real life. Food and drink are a combination of macronutrients, carbohydrates, protein, and fats that contain a combination of micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals. Humans need these macronutrients and micronutrients to nourish their body. Food is essential to the survival of every species. For humans, though, food provides more than sustenance. It has taken on cultural, social, emotional, and even religious significance. Many family and social traditions focus on food and drink. For better or worse, people build a relationship with food, a relationship that often carries a far greater role in one's life than providing simple nutrients to enable survival. You cannot turn on the television and radio or surf the internet without being inundated with the latest nutritional news. Media outlets report which foods might finally allow you to effortlessly lose 20 pounds, prolong your life, protect your heart, or retain your youthful glow. The problem is that the results of these studies often seem to contradict one another, and you may be left confused about the best way to optimize your health through food. Changes in the general state of health for Americans over the past decades are disturbing. Since 1990, obesity in America has grown at an alarming rate, according to the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. In 1990, nearly every U.S. state had an obesity rate of about 15% or lower. In 2010, 12 states had an obesity rate of 30% or greater, while an additional 36 states had an obesity rate of 25% or higher. The Centers for Disease Control (CDC) notes that a full one-third of Americans, 78.6 million people, are obese. Similar trends are occurring elsewhere throughout the Western world. Meanwhile, according to the CDC, heart disease and stroke are the first and third top causes of death in the American population. Respectively, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institutes of Health notes in their executive summary that autoimmune diseases are also on the rise in the American public, with autoimmune conditions affecting 5 to 8% of the population, or between 14 and 22 million people. The statistics indicate a population growing sicker with each passing year. What is causing this decline in American health? If you are what you eat, then perhaps the answer lies on the breakfast, lunch, and dinner plates of the American people. As Hippocrates suggested so many centuries ago, if you want to begin to heal, then at least part of the cure lies in the foods you eat. This course aims to provide you with a simple, unvarnished truth about nutrition. Using scientific evidence and facts, it will help you begin to understand how different types of micronutrients and macronutrients affect your body, so you can live the healthiest and most vibrant life possible. Nutrition and health. How closely does what you eat correlate to your health? According to the CDC, nutrition and health are intimately connected. Healthful eating can reduce the risk of developing a number of conditions, including osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, obesity, dental cavities, certain cancers, stroke, and diabetes. Proper nutrition is also essential for the growth and development of children. A multitude of scientific and medical studies continue to demonstrate this close connection between food and health. Clearly, the foods we eat and feed our families play an important role in our health. wellness, and quality of life. What nutrition is? Nutrition involves eating healthy, whole foods that meet your body's nutrient needs while supporting good health. Indeed, the World Health Organization defines nutrition as the intake of food considered in relation to the body's dietary needs. The study of nutrition examines how food intake affects the body, requiring scientists to look at all aspects of the foods we eat. Proper nutrition consists of eating the appropriate combination and amounts of whole foods that provide your body with the micronutrients, macronutrients, and phytonutrients it needs to promote good health and protect against disease. These needs may vary from person to person based on a number of factors such as weight, sex, age, food allergies and sensitivities, activity level, and specific health concerns. Macronutrients. Macronutrients are the components of foods that provide calories or energy to the body. There are three main macronutrients: carbohydrates, fats, proteins. Each of these macronutrients plays an essential role in how the body utilizes and stores energy for basic functions, activities of daily life, and more strenuous activities. Micronutrients. Micronutrients are the minute but essential amounts of elements in food that your body needs to sustain function and good health. Vitamins and minerals are examples of micronutrients, while your body needs only small amounts of each vitamin and mineral. Overall, these micronutrients are vital to every bodily system and process. Phytonutrients, also called phytochemicals. Phytonutrients are found in plant foods. These compounds appear to offer protective benefits against diseases in humans. A number of compounds fall into the category of phytonutrients, including flavonoids, phenolic acids, lignans, and stilbenes. Whole foods. The most nutritious foods for your body are whole, minimally processed foods. Foods that fall into this category include fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices, meat, seafood, fish and poultry, eggs, whole minimally processed grains such as brown rice and buckwheat, dairy products, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Nutrients. Carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water, antioxidants, phytonutrients. The nutritional needs for a healthy diet can vary by age and for women who are pregnant or lactating. Daily nutrient amounts can be considered as a percentage of daily total energy intake, calories, or as specific quantities, and can differ somewhat among the various recommending agencies and organizations. Many of the recommended amounts offered in this section come from the National Institutes of Medicine or Health, an agency of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the USDA, or the Institute of Medicine, IOM, an independent non-profit organization that is part of the U.S. National Academies. The IOM, or Institute of Medicine, provides guidelines for a recommended dietary allowance, RDA, or where not enough evidence is available, an adequate intake, AI. Macronutrients. Macronutrients are foods required in large amounts in the human diet. There are three main types of macronutrients: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the main source of fuel for the body, with approximately 4 calories of energy per gram. Carbohydrates come in two forms, simple and complex. Simple carbohydrates are either monosaccharides consisting of one sugar molecule or disaccharides, two sugar molecule. Glucose is the most plentiful monosaccharide, while saccharose and lactose are the most common disaccharides. Complex carbohydrates contain multiple sugar molecules. They include oligosaccharides, 3 to 10 sugar molecules linked into chains, and polysaccharides, chains of up to thousands of sugar molecules. Oligosaccharides are mostly indigestible by humans, acting as a prebiotic, meaning that they feed the good bacteria in the gut. Polysaccharides are classified as either starch digestible or fiber indigestible and are highly beneficial to the body. The role of carbohydrates. The primary role of carbohydrates is to provide the body with energy. The digestive system breaks down carbohydrates, converting them to glucose. The cells in the body then burn the glucose to produce a molecule called adenosine triphosphate ATP, which regulates the storage and release of energy from cells. Insulin, which is secreted in the pancreas, acts as an energy storage hormone. Insulin prompts the use of glucose to meet the body's energy needs or to be stored in the form of body fat. So if more carbohydrates are consumed than are needed, the resulting glucose will be stored as fat. Simple carbohydrates can be absorbed so quickly that insulin cannot be released efficiently enough to return blood glucose levels to a desirable level, creating spikes in blood sugar levels. Also, complex carbohydrates take longer to digest than simple carbohydrates, making them less likely to cause dramatic spikes in blood sugar. An excess glucose is converted to glycogen. The body stores about 400 grams or 1,600 calories of glycogen in the liver and muscles for later use. In case glucose levels drop too low, the stored energy is then released into the blood to balance blood sugar levels. RDA carbohydrates. The RDA varies for each age group. For example, 1 year and older will take 130 grams. Calcium. Calcium is the most plentiful mineral in the human body and is best known as a component of bones and teeth. Indeed, about 99% of the calcium in the body is stored in the bones and teeth, where it can be used on site or enter the bloodstream to be used in other metabolic functions. Bones are constantly reconstructing, which means that calcium is being reabsorbed and deposited to create new bone. When the balance shifts from formation to bone breakdown, there is an increased risk of osteoporosis. The remaining 1% of calcium stored in the body is used for muscle contraction, including vascular contraction and vasodilation, intracellular signaling, blood clotting, nerve transmission, hormone secretion, and cells metabolism. The absorption rate of calcium is about 30%, but infants and children absorb more, and the rate decreases as people get older. Eating foods high in oxalic acid and phytic acid can reduce the absorption rate of calcium, and vitamin D is required for calcium to move from digestive tract. Absorbed calcium is eliminated in sweat, urine, and feces. The amount that is lost depends on several factors: high sodium levels, which can increase the excretion rate, caffeine, which can decrease absorption and increase excretion, alcohol, which can reduce the absorption rate and prevent vitamin D from converting to an active form, high fruit and vegetable intake, which can create an alkaline environment in the body, thereby decreasing calcium absorption. This is an RDA for calcium. The RDA of calcium is not the amount needed to prevent a deficiency, but rather the amount needed to offset net calcium loss. Deficiency and toxicity of calcium. Calcium deficiency usually does not produce any significant symptoms in the short term, but long-term effects can be damaging. Hypocalcemia, a condition marked by chronically low calcium levels, increases the risk of bone fractures and eventually leads to osteoporosis. People with higher risk of calcium deficiency include postmenopausal women, those who are lactose intolerant, vegetarian, and amenorrheic women. Hypocalcemia symptoms can include muscle cramps, memory loss, brittle nails, dermatitis, irregular heartbeat, poor appetite, mental confusion, skeletal malformations, numbness, or tingling in the extremities, hallucinations, depression, convulsions, fatigue, and if left untreated, death. Moderately high levels of calcium, usually from supplements, can cause constipation and interfere with the absorption of minerals such as zinc and iron. Excessive calcium has also been linked to a higher risk of kidney stones, prostate cancer, and cardiovascular disease, although more research is required to solidify those connections. Extremely high levels of calcium in the blood can produce a condition called hypercalcemia, which can cause vascular calcification, hypercalciuria, excessive calcium in the urine, and renal insufficiency. For calcium, most people in the United States get about half of their calcium from dairy products, but there are many other good dietary sources of calcium: sardines, dark leafy greens, almonds, broccoli, fortified cereals, white beans, soybeans, oranges, green beans, salmon. You can also get calcium from supplements in two forms: carbonate and citrate. Children need a large quantity of calcium for new bone growth, and older individuals need extra to offset a lower absorption rate after 40 years of age. People in the United States, especially women, often fall short of adequate amounts of calcium. Diseases. How various foods affect your health is uniquely individual. The effects of certain foods on your body have a lot to do with personal biology, genetics, and specific environmental factors. In general, however, eating whole healthy foods such as fruits, vegetables, and lean meats will have an overall positive effect on your body. For common health complaints, employing nutritional strategies may offer relief from symptoms. It's also important that you work in a close cooperation with your personal healthcare provider. If you experience any of the following conditions, the suggested nutritional strategies may be helpful in conjunction with your regular health care. Acid reflux, heartburn, GERD. Acid reflux, heartburn, and gastroesophageal reflux disease occur when stomach acid passes through the lower esophageal sphincter and into the esophagus, causing a burning sensation and pain. Foods that trigger a gastroesophageal reflux include those that increase pressure in the abdomen, those that weaken the lower esophageal sphincter, and those that increase stomach acid. With that in mind, engage the following nutritional strategies to improve symptoms of acid reflux. Avoid spicy foods, including avoiding onions, garlic, and chives, minimizing fat by selecting lean meats, avoiding fried foods, and limiting added oils. Lower abdominal pressure by eating several small meals per day instead of 3 large meals. Avoid acidic foods such as vinegar and citrus fruits. Avoid alcohol, coffee, and tea. For quick relief of indigestion or acid reflux, try swallowing a tablespoon of honey, sipping ginger tea, or eating candied ginger, or chewing fennel seeds or fresh fennel.